What I loved about this project is the style of it is so fun. You know, when I first started to read it, I thought, oh, this is this sort of tragic, quite dark film. And then comedy started to creep in, and I didn't quite know whether I was supposed to laugh or not. And then it became apparent, you know, that actually, yeah, it is supposed to be very funny, but it treads that very fine line. But it never forgets the grief element in this film and the heart of it that Liam's character goes through, which I think often films do. They, as soon as they start to go into comedy, they forget the heart of the film, which once you lose that, you lose everything. And I think that through Liam and Laura's performances sort of drives it through the movie. So it was that fun balance, but mainly my character drew me to this role because it's such a fun, bizarre, twisted, complicated guy. And it was something I could really get my teeth into and explore and experiment in all the scenes. My character Viking is so interesting because he doesn't really operate on the same wavelength as anyone else. He is a psychopath. I read a book called The Psychopath Test before I started work on this, and it really looks at people who don't really function on the same wavelength as everyone else, but they function in society. So it makes it very interesting to see someone making decisions like shooting someone on a whim in the face, even if that person happens to be close to them or work with them. And you think there's, you know, the audience never knows what's going on in this guy's head. And just when you think he's going down one road, he flips it and goes down another. So you may think, oh, he's about to be violent, and then he might be seductive and charming. Oh, he's about to be funny, and then he shoots someone in the face and cuts off their head. So it just constantly keeps the audience guessing, and me guessing as an actor, and it's quite fun because really, as I rehearse the scenes on my own in my hotel room, I find there's about 100 different ways I could play this character, and each scene could be played in 100 different ways. The lines can be completely subverted. I can play them deadpan down the line as they're written, or I can play around with them and go, actually, what if I make this line funny, even though what I'm saying is horrible, or vice versa. So really, it's like being in a candy store, and I can just pick and choose what I like. Viking's job in this movie, if he has one, I run a club, but really that's just a front and a bit of a vanity thing for him. He likes the idea of being a club owner, but really his main job is a drug dealer. He supplies cocaine for the village and the town of Kehoe, and he's got a lot of people who work for him and do that. So. But he inherited that from his father. So really, he hasn't built up an empire. He's one of these spoilt brats who's inherited something but wears it, you know, like a crown. And, you know, he loves that he's seen as this powerful guy, but he hasn't done himself anything to deserve that status. There's this tension between Tom Jackson's character, White Bull, and mine, sort of rival gangs. They're very tense, and really you're looking for anything to disrupt that and set off this huge chain of dramatic events, which all really comes out of something that isn't actually true. You know, it's a mistake. And you just watch this disintegrate. You watch this psychopath who should never have been in his position get taken down. You watch Liam going through the process of losing a son, and then his wife leaving him, and the lengths to which he's willing to go to satisfy that pain in him. You see him really, he's doing everything he's doing because he's hurting, and he thinks that the only way to do it is revenge. And that really runs throughout the whole film, revenge, because he wants revenge for his son dying. As soon as he starts killing my men, I want revenge on that. Then I accidentally exercise that revenge on someone else accidentally. They then want revenge on me. So really it's this huge, big mess of a web that comes to a huge climax at the end, and leaves everyone pretty screwed. I love Hans Petter, the director. He's got a clear vision. I haven't myself seen the original film that he directed because I didn't want to steal things off the old other actor. I'm sure is wonderful. But he allows actors to play. He knows very much what the scene needs, but he never forces an actor. He kind of guides actors into that, if you need more energy or less or whatever. But he does, at the end of the day, let you play. And a lot of the ideas that I've come up with through improvising in the scene, he's open for. Some directors don't like that, but he's so open to, you know, I'll just do something in a take, and he'll say, that's great. He may not necessarily love it, but he'll say, but it'll give him an idea. So really, it feels like a proper collaboration with him. And he really respects his actors as well. He's into telling the story and getting in there. And quite a lot of directors will give you a whole bunch of them. They'll give you 10 notes for one scene, which is very hard to process. But Hans is very good at just saying, think about this. You do a take. Now think about this. And actually slowly layer things so that by the end of it, you feel that you've really got to the meat of things. And he just loves this story so much, and he's having so much fun. You know, we did a scene the other day which we were going, God, we're doing this again and again and again. Maybe we're getting this wrong. And he actually came up, he said, no, the reason we're doing it again is because I'm really enjoying myself. This is a really fun scene to do, and I want to try it this way and this way. So that energy is very infectious. No, I've never worked with Liam Neeson before. I've been, obviously, as everyone is, a huge fan of his work. And it's a joy to meet him and work in scenes with him. He's so, I don't know, powerful without doing anything. And then, you know, as soon as they call cut, he's the first person to smile and laugh. And he's a gentle, wonderful man, and it's an honor to know him as a person, let alone as an actor. I love this role. This role has been it's been one of the most fun roles this year that I played, because he's so, he's not really what I usually get cast as, which is the whole point of the character, really, because he looks like something, and it's through his personality and what's going on underneath him that actually the story erupts from. So I'm enjoying this role very much.
Rob Reiner has directed some of the most famous films of the 20th century. One of those films is the mockumentary This Is Spinal Tap. Reiner and his team tried writing a script but gave up after just a few days. The entirety of the dialogue was improvised by everyone involved, so Reiner tried getting everyone credited as the writers of the film.